Hey everyone, Jay Sherm here. I know usually I give you guys tutorials on how to do technical things, whether it's writing a movie screenplay or editing videos or how to do social media posts, how to create graphics for your company. But during this pandemic, a lot of people noticed that I lost some weight. Yes, I know I look really slim, and I've been eating mostly vegan and really healthy foods. But of course, everybody asks me, like, what do you eat? So without going too much into a spiel here, I'm gonna get right into what I eat every single morning and how I prepare it. And today I'm gonna go over steel cut oats. The brand that I use is Bob's Red Mill. It's organic. You can use any brand of steel cut oats that you like. I usually keep it in a container inside the refrigerator to keep it cool. I'm gonna do 2 cups. So I'm gonna measure out 1 cup and 2 cups. Looks like I was almost there. Plus I find it easier to pour it out of a container rather than the bag, and easier to open and close inside a container. You can use any container, mason jar. In this case I'm using an old rice bottle. All right, so that's 2 cups. Now if you look at the serving size on the back, it says 1 serving is 1/4 cup of oats and 3/4 of water. 4 servings is 1 cup. I put in 2, so that's 8 servings and 3 cups of water. Now here's the thing. I figured out what works for me in terms of servings. 4 servings being 1 cup. There's 8 in here now because there's 2 cups. Actually only works for me for 6 servings. I like to eat a decent bowl of oats in the morning. So for me, 2 cups of oats and 4 cups of water seems to give me 6 servings of oats, which I'll show you I fit into these small mason jars. Okay, and then I use my blender pitcher for the water because it gives me the ability to do 4 cups. If you have a large measuring cup, go for it. So I'm going to pour in 4 cups of water, turn on the stove, and that's it. Let it cook until it starts to boil up. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute, but you want to make sure it doesn't stick to the pot. While it's cooking, you want to get out your mason jars. I use the 1.5 cups per mason jar, and I have 6 of them. Okay, so 6 mason jars, and then also you want to get some chia seeds. And chia seeds, what you want to do is you want to do 2 spoonfuls for each jar. So 2 spoonfuls. Okay, and you should keep your chia seeds in the fridge. Okay, then you want to put water in the bowl. Okay, and I mix that up. And you want to let the chia seeds become gelatin if you let them sit in there for a couple of minutes. Now, why do I do this? Well, because when they become gelatin and the oatmeal is done cooking and I put it into the mason jars, I can mix the chia seeds gelatin into the oatmeal. What that does is it makes it a lot easier to mix up. Whereas if you just put the chia seeds in the jars, what happens is they don't really get gelatinized. They stay hard. So when you open it up in the morning to eat it, it's still not, it's not good. If you're going to find that the chia seeds are hard. So if you let them sit in the water for about the amount of time it takes to cook the oats, you'll find that they become gelatinized. And I'll show you how they're already starting to kind of get gelatinized a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to stir up the oatmeal a little bit. You want to probably stir it every, minute or 2 just to make sure it doesn't get stuck. Okay, and as you can see, the chia seeds are starting to get clumpy and becoming like a gelatin. That's good, that's what you want. And you're going to mix these in with the mason jars when you're all done. See, they're pretty much ready to go. It was pretty quick, it was just a couple minutes. Okay, so the steel cut oats is starting to boil and get thicker. And I can feel it sticking to the bottom of the pot. So you got to make sure that you're always mixing it so it doesn't get stuck down there. And at this point, the chia seeds are completely gelatinized. I mean, this is it. They are soft and gooey. Okay, so once you see the oatmeal kind of bubbling like this, that's kind of when you know it's almost ready. So just keep stirring it. You can see that most of the water is gone now. All right, At this point, it is finished. There's no water left. It's not boiling anymore. It's ready to turn off the oven and just let it cool off. Here's how it looks. That's pretty much it. It's how it's supposed to look when it's done. Okay, while we're waiting for it to cool off, just for a few minutes, 6 mason jars go into the fridge so I can eat them for 6 days in a row every morning. But in the morning, when I have to reconstitute the oatmeal so it becomes back to this, because it's going to get hard and, you know, into a mason jar, I'm going to use oat milk that I'm going to make myself. I'm going to show you how to do that too. But I also mash a banana into it. I keep these in the fridge. Believe it or not, it looks pretty bruised up, but if you open it up, it's actually nice and fresh. I'll show you in the morning. I use Ceylon cinnamon, so don't use regular cinnamon, use Ceylon because the other stuff is garbage. This is the real cinnamon, it's called Ceylon. And then I also put in 1 or 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, but I use the Kirkland organic brand because it's made with Valencia peanuts, so there's no aflatoxins or mold that grows on peanuts. And now it is time to start putting the oatmeal into the containers. All right, so I have this spoon here. I'm gonna kind of let it go right into the mason jars. I usually do it a scoop at a time to make sure all the jars are, you know, evened out. And then whatever's left over, I try to make sure that I put the same amount in all of them. And then usually there's usually 3 that don't have as much oatmeal in them because I probably put a little less in or I eyeballed it a little differently. And those are the 3 that I put the chia seeds in. Okay, so now I have these gelatinous, so now the chia seeds are going to go in. You can see this is basically a huge clump. What I find easy is to mix the chia seeds into the oatmeal with a fork. So you can kind of mash it in there and just kind of mix it around like that. And that's it, 6 jars of steel cut oats. Yum, ready to go. Just let it cool off for maybe 5 or 10 minutes before you close them up and put them into the fridge. All right, then you close up the jars. And you store them in the fridge. And it's convenient because if you have like little drawers like these like I have, you can just kind of throw them in here like this. Real convenient in the morning. And that's it. Tomorrow morning I will reconstitute the oatmeal and put the other ingredients in to show you how to do that. But now, let's make some oat milk. All right, now oat milk is really easy to make. I use a different oatmeal, Bob's Red Mill, again, organic, extra thick rolled oats. So these are not steel cut oats, these are rolled oats. Okay, so make sure you don't use Quaker oats or 1 minute oats or any of that. They gotta be extra thick rolled oats, okay? This one's easy. So you put in 1 cup, 1 cup of this. Fill up the pitcher with water. I'd say 5 cups, maybe a little more than 5 cups. You don't want it to overflow, so I'll do 5, okay? And all you do is blend it up for about 45 seconds. And that's it. You pretty much have oat milk. All you gotta do is strain it out. So I prefer a glass jar. It's a really nice one. Glass pitcher, and put it in the sink. Get out a strainer. I use this metal one. Fits right on top of the glass pitcher, and then just pour the oat milk right in there. And what you'll see is that the remaining oats stay in the strainer, see? And you're left with the milk. There you go. That's oat milk. Stick it in the fridge, and this is what I'm going to use in the morning to pour into the oatmeal.
Good morning. So here we are with the mason jar with the oatmeal, and I have to scoop it out into a bowl. All right, and then I took out the oat milk. As you can see, it is the oats are sitting right here, and the water is on top. So what you want to do is you want to kind of shake it around. Hold the lid, of course, just to get the oats mixed up with the water. All right, and then I'm going to pour this onto the oatmeal. And I'm just going to mash it into the oats. All right, and when it's done, it'll basically be back to normal. And then here's where I add a big heaping spoonful or two. I usually go about this big, maybe even a little more, of peanut butter, and then I stick it in the microwave. While it's in the microwave, I mash up the banana. Remember how I told you it was going to look pretty good, even though it looks bruised? See, it's not that bad. It's actually, you know, it's soft too, so it makes it easier to mash up. I always find it easier to mash it up before putting it in the bowl of oatmeal, because if I try to mash it in the oatmeal, I can never quite get it to where it's like a puree, you know? Of course, you could do this any way you want. This is how I do it. And then Ceylon cinnamon. Put a couple sprinkles on top. All right, oats are warmed up. Just gonna put the banana, mix it all together. I find it a lot easier to do the mixing with the fork and then eating with a spoon. So I'm gonna kind of mash it all together. And that is just about. So I'm going to go enjoy this now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll work on some other ones for you because there's a lot of different foods I make and people always ask me how to make them, and I figure this is the easiest way to show you. So enjoy, and I'll see you next time.